and welcome to episode 128 pre-show. Prepare for Crota. And it's kind of what the theme of this episode is going to be. Just kind of get prepared for that contest, Crota's End raid, and everything that goes along with it. What weapons we're going to be using, and a little bit maybe in loadouts, likes and dislikes from the week, gambling corner, mailbag, all that good stuff will be in the episode.
Woo.
Season started out pretty strong so far. I think the story is really leading the way right now, and all the stuff we're doing with Eris. So Sir Chad's going to have stuff to say about that over the weeks to come.
Oh yeah. It's definitely looking to be a good time. Eris is doing all kinds of fun stuff, which obviously we'll talk a little bit about this week. But obviously, since I know Mr. NotRyanFox himself is very much a I need to know now kind of boy, and he looked up multiple leaks because that's what he does.
I like that. I listen to the data mines.
Yeah, there you go. So not even a leak. Well, that's still a leak, considered a leak, not a conspiracy though, but because that's real. But I asked him, I'm like, hey, no spoilies, but like out of 100, lore wise, how excited are you for what's happening? And he didn't actually give me a number, but he was actually excited. So I'm like, oh, nice. Okay, that's good. That's good then. If Mr. Not Ryan's excited about what's going to happen this season, that means some stuff's going to go down, and I'm happy about it.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'll just leave it at that. I think there's some cool stuff headed at us.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
All right, I am trying something a little bit new. I keep in mind I am dumb and old.
I would say
so. What I am trying to do is get our YouTube stream like pulled up in OBS to then put it on the Twitch. And I'm about halfway there. I'm trying to get the audio, and we'll be ready to roll.
Yeah, the audio is probably gonna be the toughest thing, because you're trying probably not to pick up your mic so you can hear yourself twice in the echo and not hearing us. I guess whenever you make that scene, you make it the sound just come from. Oh, I don't know. That'd be tough.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I'll
be right back.
I think I have it. So, so I basically just have to more or less use it to where no sound comes through my headset unless it's from Discord. I think is how I've rigged this up to work.
Yeah. It'd be great if you just had a second PC.
That would really solve a lot of issues. Yeah.
My wife asked me what I'm going to do when I go to build another PC. I'm just like, no, this one's staying. Like this is is going to be number two.
I'm just gonna have two.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I was like, think about it. I was like, even if I don't keep it at my desk, like we'll have a computer hooked up to a TV, and then we just have like a monitor next to you, and then like run a long HDMI cord to the TV for the second monitor. It's like, yeah.
Yep. Thought about that too, because I mean, probably I have like 2 more years before, maybe 3, just depending upon like my processor is going to be like determining of when I'm going to have to get another computer. I don't know. Like it's doing fine now, but we'll see how it's doing in 2 years. You know, these games are just getting demanding.
Yeah. I probably need to upgrade my RAM over this next few months. Add some more storage.
I really don't use a whole lot of storage.
Mm.
Like I think I have two. I have two like M2
Oh,
SSDs or whatever.
yeah.
One of them has like the operating system and that stuff on it, and like Destiny. Everything that I use like a lot is on like the main one. However, the other one just has like all the other games I play on it occasionally.
Dude, so if like I think this might be too much for Gambling Corner because this is probably just off the rip. But like, if you had to put odds on like the streamers' teams to finish for the world's first race, it'd probably be a lot like golf, like how like the big names, you don't get that good of odds of what them chances of them actually winning it all. But like when they do win, the sportsbook really has to pay out for those guys.
Right.
But if you could put like
I do like that though.
Like maybe one day they'll actually start let people gamble and stuff like that. But I feel like it'd be a little too much foolery at some parts of it. But you know, like Salt's team and Dado's team and Gig's team are like probably like the three best odds, right? Because they're like probably the three biggest names.
Yeah, you would
Maybe
probably
Redeem.
be like Elysium, Redeem, Math Class. Maybe we could do that. Who would be one of the other big teams?
Redeem, Math Class.
Like
Salt.
G1,
Yeah,
like Gigs.
Yeah, I don't think he's in.
Yeah, I
that
thought I saw that
anymore.
because he tweeted something about he's going to be in a cast again for the world's first race, but he might not be T1 or whatever, tier 1. Because wasn't that also the clan that the leaker that got in all the trouble? I'm trying not to say his name.
Yeah, but he wasn't on Giggs' team.
Right, but he was in that
Yeah.
clan and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Narrowing it down. I'm getting there. I'm gonna figure it out. I don't
maybe
know
maybe we'll
anything
do maybe
that's
we'll
happening
do
right now.
that. Maybe we'll do that for Gambling Corner. We'll do those 4. You can choose one of those 4, and whoever gets the highest out of those 4 teams. And if they win, it doubles.
Oh, okay.
Why didn't make it 5 teams? Add us in there, dog. Come on.
We're not starting until 9.
Yeah, we're not starting until your BA gets home from work.
It is pretty good.
Badass. Your badass gets home from work.
Mine? Who is it? Who is it?
You.
Because Fred's driving.
Oh. What's Fred have to do with this? He's not able to be with us.
It's my BA. That's you're saying it as a possessive, meaning that it's mine, not me.
Chad lost me on that one.
He lost me too. All right, I'm gonna hit the start streaming button, and we're gonna see.
Yeah.
One of you could pull the.
Oh, on Twitches.
Yeah, if one of you could pull it up and see if there's sound coming from me. That's gonna be the primary thing, I believe. Because I know that we'll have sound from you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know if there's. I don't know if there's going to be sound when I'm speaking.
If you're capturing sound from the YouTube stream, there should be sound from you.
But I'm not. I'm not. I can't do it that way and have everything else the way that it is.
Oh.
Chad, you pull me up on that on your fourth monitor.
It's true. Keep on talking.
All right, I'll keep talking. Pretty excited. Crota, we're gonna just stomp on him this weekend. Kind of
Jared
excited.
talk?
Yeah, so it's kind of unfun, some of the stuff they disabled for the raid that we'll get into, but it is what it is.
Volumes on us are about the same too, so it's not like one of us is louder than the other.
What I like to hear.
I mean, I'm not a sound guy, but
didn't you used to be a sound guy?
Like minimal sound guy. It was literally one mic, maybe two,
Okay.
and then running like a CD or an MP3 for music. That's
Okay.
that was it. That's all it was. Not like a technician, but just like a press buttons and make sure this works kind of guy.
Okay. I will pull the Twitch stream up just to make sure that if we get any questions there, good to go. All right, you guys ready for a good episode tonight?
Yeah.
Ready for an episode.
Good one.
Make sure you all look at weapons breakdown to fill out your portion.
Hmm.
All right. Here. Here. Oh, Lord have mercy. Help me.
What?
All right. Dude, there's so much stuff happening.
Yeah.
On my screen right now. It's wild. Absolutely wild. All right. I going to click the button. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Eyes up, Guardians. We are live for episode 128 of the Conqueror's Corner podcast. Today is August the 31st, and I, the Destiny bad boy, NotRyanFox, am here with my fire team, who all of you CCBs know by now. Jared?
Yeah, we got a good one in store for you all today. Crota, preparing for Crota. That's the main thing that's going on in this episode. We're going to talk about what we're running, what we're looking forward to, the stuff that you can't run when it comes to the contest mode.
And the chronicler himself, chadocero.
Going to be, besides that, going to be going through the armor lore for this week. Not much on Crota on my end, but definitely very excited to run into it tomorrow.
And as a reminder, if you're watching us on YouTube or Twitch, don't forget that you can take us on the road via Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast services. Make sure you subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, click the bell, turn on notifications, yada, yada, yada. Follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Send us Bungie friend request. Join the Discord server. Got some exciting stuff. It's kind of, as Jared described, it's almost like Christmas Eve in the Destiny community tonight. So we're going to get into a bunch of stuff. But before we do that, let's listen to the intro music, which is brought to you from everybody's favorite link you can find on Twitter at LinkOfTimeG. $129 Shadow. For all the people that are watching, I'm too stupid to know how to get the music to play through. So I added in to the podcast after.
I enjoy you explaining that every week.
Never know. Joe Blackburn could be in here right now watching this. You know what I mean? I don't want him to feel stupid.
No way. He can put out a good quality video when he needs to.
All right, everybody in here and have squiggles and such.
Yeah.
Goals. Yep.
Awesome job, Link. Thank you.
All right, guys, the TWID. Still weird to say that every now and then. Still want to say TWAB. But here we are. And it's Crota-ing time. So, yeah. I think they tried to play off its morphin time to Croting time.
No, it's crotating, which is what we used to say when he moved around.
Yeah, he like runs in like a semicircle.
Yeah, he just like run to the other side of the map. But
yeah, you call so you call it that he's crotating, so you know that you start setting up for DPS.
Crotation.
Okay.
Puff puff pass. Mm-hmm. Don't F up rotation.
All right. Well, we're less than 24 hours away, so I think at this point, math's not too well, but I think we're 15 hours away. And before we go into it for that day 1/contest raid clear, you need to be 1790 power to go through the entire raid and be at the correct light level for each encounter. If you're not, you're kind of just setting yourself up to have a little bit harder time. And so to give the servers some help, they're disabling weapon crafting progress and combatant kills counting within the King's Fall raid and Crota's Inn while the contest mode is enabled. So that's 2 days, 48 hours. So if you go in hoping like, oh, I can get this Thunderlord Catalyst done as we're going through a raid, you will not. You have to get it done beforehand. Now, when it comes to announcing the day 1 winner, Bungie's going to be doing it a little bit different. They're actually going to just straight up announce it on Destiny the Game account on the X whenever it happens, and then they'll go back and verify. So, man, what a gut punch that would be if like your team did it, and then this one dude was kind of doing some fishy stuff behind the scenes, and it gets yanked out from underneath of you. So make sure you you know who you're playing with when it comes to this day 1 clear. Necrochasm. It is making its return. So they'll go ahead and just straight up tell me that. We did see it in the trailer for it too, so we knew this was coming. But it's coming back with a little bit of a twist to it. So players that acquired a bottomless pit quest from the raid vendor during the 48-hour contest mode period and Crota's Inn will have the quest automatically marked as complete and all rewards placed in their inventory immediately. The quest does not require any currencies to purchase it. Rewards will include the Husk of the Pit, Eidolon Alloy, Furley Masterworked, and Necrochasm. So players will notice that they acquire the essence of the Oversoul from completing raid encounters and triumphs. This is required to complete the Bottomless Pit quest if they don't finish within the contest mode, as well as to complete the Weapons Catalyst objective of Necrochasm. So it's okay if you don't finish it, you still get the progress. And when contest mode ends, all essence of Oversoul that the player has acquired will still be respected, and the player may begin making progress on the Catalyst objective, continuing to the number previously acquired. So whatever you do during the contest, you're still going to have it moving forward. So usually to get the contest emblem, you got to do it on the regular mode and then do it on challenge mode. I'm curious to see if this Necrochasm drop is going to happen on the first contest clear or it happens on the second contest clear. Now, when I read it, I think it happens on the first contest clear.
I'm not sure I'm not sure what to think. I've been kind of confused about that myself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's the first clear and not the challenge clear, but we'll find out.
Now, I haven't looked at the data mining or anything yet, so I don't know if it's Necroplasm's going to be an SMG or an auto rifle. That's at 900 RPM. So
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see that, because I kind of hope
it's still auto rifle shaped.
Yeah, I hope it's auto rifle because there's anti-barrier auto rifle, so I'm actually might get some use this season. So,
Oh yeah.
So completing the raid can get you a few other things on bundle rewards, and one of them is the Crota's Inn raid ring. So that looks pretty cool for a ring. I kind of wish that silverish to black was flipped, so like the majority of the ring was black, and then like the Crota's head was silver. But overall, it looks really cool.
Oh, okay.
There's also a Crota's Inn raid pin, and you got to complete the raid by 10 p.m. PST on November 28th. The ring, you got to complete it by September 12th. Now, this is an interesting one here as a reward, and it's a poster. It's a metal poster, and it's for Crota's End, and you have to complete it by November 28th to get the poster.
So I definitely was eyeballing that. I'm really into those. I think that'd look pretty rad, like right here, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was looking at it, I was thinking like, so basically, the whole thing is the final encounter really going to be one person doing damage with a sword the whole time and the other 5 breaking the shield? Or are they going to somehow involve everybody in dealing damage to the boss? So that was kind of the one big gripe with Crota. But if you look at that poster, it's one dude with a sword getting ready to do a heavy attack, and everybody else shooting at the boss, appearing to break a shield with like the oversoul behind it. So it's looking like it. I can't imagine that the mechanics are different and they made the poster off of the Destiny 1 version and not the Destiny 2 version.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably going to switch it up there to where like the sword guy is not doing the damage, they're just making Crota vulnerable to take on damage from everyone else, right?
You could think that, but the way those people are positioned, they are not set up for optimal DPS or using optimal DPS weapons.
True.
I will say that.
There's also the sword bearer title pin. So again, being a sword bearer is coming up. And you can get that by completing the raid before February 26th of 2024. So you got some time on that one. And then, of course, the world's first raid race belt. The belt is silver with some green. So it definitely looks pretty tight. But as you know, that the original Crota's End race was the gold belt. And this is, second time around, silver.
Listen, I don't care if that belt's silver, bronze. I don't care.
Yeah,
like it would still be cool to have.
Absolutely. Twitch rivals. So if Twitch rivals will be going on, and with commentators of Professor Broman, Rec 1568, and Adam Savage. So they're going to be like shoutcasting the raid race, bouncing between streams. If you watch somebody that is partnered with Twitch Rivals for 2 hours, you'll be getting a special emblem that day.
Dude, I saw Adam Savage on there. I'm like, really? That's gonna be crazy.
That's not somebody I know.
It's a MythBusters. Right?
There's only one Savage.
I'm like,
that I'm a big fan of.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. And I don't even really care too much about that, but I do know that name and I do respect it.
You're talking about the Macho Man, Randy Savage?
Oh. Yep.
Oh, yeah. The cream always rises to the top. That he would be the greatest shoutcaster of all time.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty fun to watch. I think isn't 21 Savage a person too?
I think he is. I think he's a hip hop MC.
Okay,
I believe.
All right, so watch some people, and get a free emblem. We'll be going live like around probably like 9 Eastern that night, and start our road to context clear. Next week on Reset, Iron Banner's back for a week. And with that, 2 reprise weapons. Like, we're not even getting a new weapon this season. So the Gilding Sight is now going to be a strand high impact scout rifle. And a left column with a lightened action, demolitionist, moving target, tunnel vision, perpetual motion, and gut shot straight. Right column, hatchling, adrenaline junkie, kill clip, encore, cascade point, and precision instrument. So this was a 150 RPM scout. Hopefully it still is. Was high impact, yeah. So it's a 150. Maybe a moving target, precision instrument, or moving target kill clip. Probably be pretty good for PvP. PvE, I'm gonna go demolitionist is a must in column 3, and then adrenaline junkie in the right column. It's kind of just a simple pairing there.
The thing that's hard with demo on a scout is scouts reload so fast. Like, you're not really gaining a lot with that part of the perk, but it's not like there's anything else that's really jumping out there.
Perpetual motion probably isn't too bad. It's additional stability and reload speed.
Listen, at the end of the day, we all know it's going to take 22 shots to kill something in a GM with it anyway. So
yeah.
Hey, they reduced that up for the red bars. I think red bar health has been toned down a bit.
I think
they
you're
didn't
right.
want us using 2 whole clips of hand cannon to kill something. They said that in particular.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's got the classic demo adrenaline roll.
Yeah.
And even then demo hatchling, if you're running that weird warlock hatchling build where you're using the hatchling grenades. So hatchlings on headshots, more demo, more grenade ammo, more grenades, just hatchlings everywhere. So it could be fun. And it is cool that they are bringing back things that were kinetics as strand or stasis. So they're giving them something when they bring them back, which is neat.
All right, next up is the point of the stag, an arc precision bow. It used to be really good, where it was like you got 2 perks in columns 3 and 4, and now it's going to be a random drop. So left column, no distractions, archer's tempo, pugilist, slick draw, elemental capacitor, and shot swap. Right column, vorpal weapon, eye of the storm, swashbuckler, precision instrument, golden tricorn, and dragonfly.
Yeah, so one thing I thought was cool about this, not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but in columns 3 and 4, in columns 3 on the initial gun, you had no distractions and archer's tempo. Both of those are there. And then in column 4, you had vorpal and eye of the storm. So you can still get that roll, like if you really wanted it. It's not like it has like a retired roll like some of the other stuff they brought back has. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to get both of them on there, but you know it can still get it. The only one I would maybe rather have would be like the Archer's Tempo Dragonfly, maybe. That could be interesting. But the rest of those, I really like the Archer's Tempo Vorpal from the initial. It's my go-to arc bow.
Another one I'll be looking out for is Precision Instrument, as that the more you do precision damage, it ramps up the damage. So I doubt it's going to get enough to one-tap in PvP, but man, if you could ramp that up and you get Radiant or something, you might get close. I'd be interested to see if any of that stuff happens. So playing Iron Banner, it's going to rotate game modes a little bit throughout the season. So the week 1, it's going to be Fortress. Week 2 is going to be on 10-10, starting 10-10, and that's going to be Control. And then on November 14th, Fortress will be back. So I think Fortress, you know, the Bubble Titans and the Well of Radiance are usually pretty heavy, pretty strong. Everybody kind of holds supers when that zone comes up. And that's why I kind of like Control a little bit better, because it's not everybody just holding a super for that spawn point. It's kind of just people trying to go on streaks a little bit. All right.
But Jared, what about Stasis?
Yeah. So Stasis has been left out in the cold for a while now. It was high. Everybody was using it, and then Bungie's like, no more. You should never use Stasis again. So they nerfed it into the ground for the most part.
We're hunters.
Yeah. So for next season, they're going to just change some stuff up in Stasis, and that's going to be Glacial Quake, Frost Pulse, Winter Shroud, the Glacier Grenade, and more. And they'll actually have artifact perks to go along with it.
Glacier Grenade that's sad news for me. I like the Glacier Grenade.
Yeah. Man, we could get back into, but I think Shadow Drive was great, but it just had to reduce the.
I bet you did.
Yeah, they needed to reduce the
It
radius
was
of
busted,
it,
dude.
but they needed to actually make it harder to do, but still pull off. Because I thought it was a great way to counter shotguns, but yeah,
It was just you just had it too often. That was the issue.
yeah.
If you were you could build into it too easily. Maybe that's the thing.
Now we'll get into some of this player support part of the TWID where we normally skip over, but we got some important stuff going on here. First up is going to be the raid contest mode disabled. So this is what you're not going to be able to use for in a contest mode. So first up is the Tessellation Exotic Fusion Rifle. This is that $100 fusion rifle that if you wanted to go ahead and prepay. I've used it
You could cancel.
Yeah.
You could cancel that pre-order and still keep it according to the internet.
I did see that. I think that is downright dirty.
Scumbags. Scumbags.
Degens. Next up, the Warlock Weave Walk aspect is also disabled in PvP activities. Man, I thought the thing was going to be really fun, like to get some clutch revives off, and whenever you come back out of it, all your threadlings go out. But nope.
I love how we end the podcast last week, and afterwards we're looking over, and right before we started the podcast, all these videos came out of how busted and broken it was. So I sounded like a real dummy whenever on that portion, but it's fine because I am a dummy. So there's nothing you can say that would hurt me about that. So
Titan Banner of War aspect, man. Chad, does this just throw your whole build for a loop?
No. I mean, I like it a lot, and it's fun, and staying alive is great, and being able to heal your allies is also very good. But I already have so many other builds. I was like the Banner of War was one of the ones I was still working out. So I'm like, okay, I guess I don't have to think about it anymore. I can do what I was already doing. So, I mean, I'm sad about it because it was going to be a lot of fun having two Titans just running banners. So everybody's just healing as long as you stay close. But, oh well, I guess we'll just be making sunspots for everybody instead, or providing cover.
The Foe Tracer Exotic Helmet for the Hunters. This is kind of surprised me, but I guess there's some exploits out there with it. Elemental Munitions mod. It's also not going to be it would be used. And then finally, Overload Hand Cannon mod is not going to be used. And that is mainly for one reason and one reason only. That is malfeasance paired with Lucky Pants. And it was putting out some crazy damage.
It was busted. I saw the damage on it. I was like, that is not probable. Like, I think I saw Aztecross did his primary weapons video he does every 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And with that one on Templar, which is where they test it, he hit almost 800k with a primary.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
My goodness, you have 5 of those and one guy with a Wither Horde.
Mm-hmm.
Things just melt.
Yep.
Unreal. Looks like fun.
So when I seen these disables come out, it kind of makes me realize like whenever they're designing these raid encounters and stuff, they're doing it simultaneously whenever Bungie's working on like the new strained aspects. So like, yeah, they probably play tested the raid given like what strained abilities it had at the time, but maybe the team was also working on these new aspects, and you know they didn't get them they didn't build the raid around some of these aspects and how great they are.
Yeah, I would say that's part of it, and the other part is maybe they bumped up all those aspects to try to get more people to come in and buy the DLC to unlock it. So maybe they're coming in a little hot purposefully compared to what they thought they might initially.
All right.
Yeah, I think probably a combination of the two.
Gallahorn behavior. So I know Fallout put out a video this week about it, but Gallahorn's not behaving the same way it did on previous seasons and basically since it came out. So every time Gallahorn buffs another rocket, it basically gives that damage plus an extra one. So like say like you usually have one person using Gallahorn and then two people using a rocket. The rocket one from player one is putting out the normal 100 damage, where the guy using rocket 2 is putting out his normal 100 damage and another 100 on top of that, because it's also stacking exponentially due to two people running the rocket. So it would actually stack up to times 5 if or doing the extra times 5 with the more people using a rocket. But now it's just doing like the extra 100 so per person, instead of like each person get the previous person's damage plus theirs. Now it's just getting like basically a straight 100 buff, if you want to say it like that, for each person. Bungie was going to nerf Gallahorn and Wolfpack round. So now with this, they're leaving it in. And what the rocket's damage now is what it is. So they're going to keep an eye on it, but this is basically Gallahorn nerf, and they're leaving it in game.
You believe this, like their rationale for it that they had in there? So basically it says, due to Gallahorn's boss DPS dominance, we had previously planned to dial down its damage in a future update. Because this unintentional change resulted in similar changes to those planned, the current behavior will be maintained while we monitor performance. Do you think it's that, or do you think it's like a super hard bug to fix or something?
Yeah, that probably has to play into it, to where whatever they did to fix it probably undoes something else that they fixed this season. Yeah. But also they was going to nerf it anyway, so like it works out.
Yeah.
So basically that is it for the TWID. My guy Leopard getting a moment of the week. Good job, Leopard. And else I'm saying.
I was getting a lot of Leopard feeds in the old Facebook Reel or the shorts.
Yeah.
Not Facebook, YouTube shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a lot of Leopard this evening in there. Like all his like solo GMs with his wife and stuff beside him, and glitches and stuff. So for whatever reason, he's hot on the algorithm this week. So I've always liked him though.
Yeah.
So anything else TWID related that we wanted to discuss? I know that there was like a PC Gamer article that Joe Blackburn did. Did you guys see much about it?
I didn't read it. No.
Yeah, nothing.
I watched a video on it.
Nothing too wild. It was just basically, one of those like he gives like an interview and then people take like one sentence and extract it out and turn it into a 10-minute and 2-second YouTube video.
Yeah.
One of those type of deals, pretty much. Nothing too crazy. But it's out there if you're looking for more content. But we're trying to be short and sweet. We always try to keep these under 90. So gotta be careful.
All right, next up is our 3 likes and 3 dislikes. So usually there's a lot to like early on in the season. So for me, it's going to be the Extras new grenade launcher paired with Mothkeeper's Wraps, And if you get a kill with that grenade launcher, it's spawning the Void Moth and the Arc Moth when you got those gloves equipped. So it's really good for just like normal PvE stuff. Maybe we're at max -10. So I think it's fun, and it's worth playing if you're on Hunter and pairing those things together.
I have several likes. I have a lot of likes right now about Destiny. Chad, maybe you should go first. That way, if I don't take any of your likes.
I don't have a lot of likes, so thank you very much. My like for the week is 48-hour contest mode. I know that we've pretty much guessed the last raid that it seemed like it was going to be more standard. But having a third raid in a row, the second raid in a row where it's like from the get-go, it's 48-hour contest. It's like, oh, cool. That gives the rest of us that work for a living and don't play for a living, not have to call for a day off, get time to actually play the contest and have a good time, not work a 12-hour day and then have to game for another 10, 11 hours straight to try to beat something. So it's nice. It's nice. We'll be able to play some tomorrow night, see how far we get some actual sleep, and then really slay out on a Sunday or Saturday and have the whole day. So we're not stressed. Be like, all right, let's take a break for lunch. Let's take an hour here, an hour there, and not even have to really stress out about it. So definitely happy about that.
All right, so my likes. Definitely still with the exotic rotator missions. Enjoying those. We got our the one this week. We get the Vox Obscura mission. We got it taken care of. So my advice to everybody: do it on normal mode first, and that's going to unlock the weapon pattern for you. And what's the name of that? What's the name of the grenade launcher? I'm sorry.
Dead Messenger.
Thank you, Jared. Dead Messenger.
Dead Messenger.
Ironically, even though I couldn't think of the name of it, one of my favorite exotics in the game. And if you do it on the hard mode 3 times after that, that is going to unlock all 3 traits as well as all 3 of that trinary system that you get. So 1 normal, 3 legends, and that's going to get you every single unlock. And then probably, or let's say like 40 enhancement cores. You're already at level 17. Build up what you want. Masterwork it. You're done, and you're good to go. And you have it forever. You're probably going to throw Demolitionist on it. I would say is kind of the trait that all 3 of us went with. So, but fun gun. You should hop in there. It's not difficult. If you're struggling, reach out to us at Destiny CC Pod. More likes. I'm really liking the card system as of right now that we're building. I feel like we're playing. It's like 52 card pickup. Like all the cards got spilled all over the place, and we're just kind of going around and gathering them. I don't really like how it is. Kind of time gated. I wish that if you wanted to play for like 40 consecutive hours, you could unlock those cards. The other thing I wish that there were, if you hovered over a card, it would say run 6 strikes to unlock this card, or get 200 solar weapon kills to unlock this card. I would enjoy that a lot more than just having them randomly drop. Saying that, we did run several raids over the last few evenings with the raid team. We do have 2, I wouldn't say they're new people, but 2 people that weren't with us the last time that we did a day 1 race. I know that Sweeper's been with us for one prior, and we got 1 new guy. So we're missing 2 of our regulars. So we're trying to run some raids for practice. That has been very fun, especially running those raids that we haven't ran in a while. Like we ran a Deepstone Crypt, and it was pretty fun. Getting back in there and practicing with everybody. So those are my main likes. My dislike, honestly, is getting on and seeing people already at like level 120 on their season pass, because it's pissing me off, if we're being real honest. because I've put in a fair amount of time, and there's no way there should be 4 ranks higher than me whenever I know that I've ran like way more raids than all, and like all the difficult content is kind of the stuff we've been doing, and I know they're just over grinding bounties, and that's so still season pass related. Bounty grinding should not be the best way to do that.
All right, my dislike is going to be the people that just like speed run the Spire for Savathun and don't open the chest or refuse to swap weapons. Like they'll just get to the chest and turn around and look, expecting you to swap over to a void weapon, shoot the stuff, and then swap to a solo weapon and shoot the other symbols. Like, quit being so lazy. Pull up dim, pull one over, and shoot at least like the solo or the void, and I'll shoot the other ones. Don't turn around and look at me and expect me to do all the work.
Good thing that's not a problem this week, really.
What's your dislike, Chado?
My dislike is my armor drop RNG. It's not even, it's like, it's unreal. It's unreal just how bad it is. I'm still missing armor from Root of Nightmare. 2 pieces per character. Not even like 1. On Deepstone, like it took me so many runs on my Hunter just to get a helmet. And I'm still like, not that we played the last dungeon a lot, but I'm still missing 2 to 3 pieces of armor from the last dungeon. Ghost of the Deep. I'll never get the armor done. It's gonna take forever, and that's the armor from Ron is the only thing keeping me from that title right now. It is literally 2 armor drops is the only thing. We've done it on Master, we've done the challenges, and I just can't get the armor to drop. And it's so aggravating. It's ridiculous. Just how it. I have all the weapons, the red borders. I have the exotic. I have everything else done, all the triumphs. I just can't get armor. And it's unreal. It's like, dude, the armor should be cycled where it's like you get each drop until you have them all unlocked and then it randomizes. Or do the challenge triumphs and then here's the armor piece. Ryan shakes his head because he doesn't understand this point of view. And it's like, bro, why am I held back because of armor? Not even anything I don't care about. As soon as I get it to drop, I'm going to dismantle it. It's not going to be good.
You know how selfish you sound right now? You know how many people would kill to get weapon drops all the time? Oh, all I ever get are weapon drops.
No, and that's not what I'm saying, armor. Ryan. I get armor all the time. It's the same armor every time. I only get like 2 weapons from the raid, and then everything else is 3 chest pieces. It's like, dude, what? Why?
Why don't you use the spoils to buy those chests?
You'll only get drops of what you already have unlocked.
I thought the chest gave you things that you didn't get. My bad.
No.
I never have to worry about that because I get the armor out of the way pretty early.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I earn the armor pretty early on.
You earn the armor. I'm pretty sure I've beaten him more than you. This particular one.
I don't know which one of us has the title. That's kind of what I would base it upon.
Oh, okay. I got you. I can leave right now.
Hey, only one of us has a Sherpa emblem for that raid.
I think I'm. What am I? What are we? 1 away? Both of us. We need 1 more. You say that, but I seem to recall one night you coming into our little group chat upset that it took you like 3 hours and 48 minutes to do Root of Nightmares. So you earned that Sherpa emblem with that one group for sure.
Yeah. I'm good not doing that.
But if you would like to be the 10th person that I Sherpa through, hit us up on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Would love to get you through these old raids because we honestly, if you've never done them before, let's just say you watch a video. You really don't even have to do that. Truth be told, we can get you through all the raids that are out to now. We can get you through them in probably under 90 minutes. I would feel pretty comfortable saying that. King's Fall would be the one that would be the tightest, just because it's just long. There's just a lot of encounters and a lot of traversing in between. So that one would be under 2 hours. The rest would be under 90 minutes. I feel like we could, most of them under 60, likely 75. We can get you through all those raids.
All right, now it's time for weapons breakdown. So weapons breakdown is going to be a little bit different this time. We're kind of going to talk about our day one loadouts, or something that we're doing that we think maybe other people are not really doing for day one. Like, yeah, Gallahorn and rockets, that's obvious. Whisper of the Worm, Sleeper. Like, everybody has those leveled up and ready to go for raids. And Lament is also just like, everybody's going to have a sword or two. So just like, maybe it's something just like you're doing that you're trying to create, trying to help your teammates out, or just this works best for you. So our day one team, it's going to be 2 Warlocks, 2 Titans, and 2 Hunters. So we're kind of just balanced out. So I'm going to be a solo Warlock, and I'm going to put on Boots of the Assembler. Just trying to send out those healing seekers just to help people out. And if healing's not going to be an issue, I will swap that over to the Empowering and just give everybody that nice little weapon buff. Something to think about, if there is a sword barrier that you got to use to damage orcs with, if you put down an Empowering Rift, and it might buff that sword wielder to put out more damage. Just keep that in mind, and you can do it kind of from a distance. You can also do Lumina if that comes down to it. But my exotic pairing for that is going to be Sunshot. Sunshot with the hand cannon buff, explosions. When I think of Crota's End, I always think of 1,000 Thrall are coming at you, and those explosions really just going to take out the Thralls, and do some damage to if there's any majors that come out too. And those, I'm sure there's going to be a wizard or two, and I'm going to pop that Solar Shield pretty easy, and then swap something to take it out.
Yeah, that's something. Sunshot gave me a little thought process too, because if I end up running Solar Titan, I'll probably throw on a Sunshot as well, just for the obviously the synergy. And I think Monochromatic Maestro is active this season, so it's a good mod running all of one thing. Other option for me is since I'd be running either Bubble Boy with Hoyle or Ursa's for the banner, Graviton Lance. Same reasons as Sunshot. Those Graviton Lance explosions are still crazy in PvE, and I think it also did get a little bit of a damage buff in PvE. It got a nerf in PvP, but that don't matter here. So it does a lot of damage, and extra heavy drops. From exotic primaries, you get extra heavy ammo. So that's always nice, depending on what we're doing. If it's just opening encounter, maybe I'll run a machine gun and help just lay out a bunch of stuff, or run rockets for the ending area where there were back in the day a bunch of ogres and stuff. But it's definitely Graviton Lance is really good for ad clearing, creating extra heavy ammo. And it's just really fun right now. And then running that with the stasis wave frame, just for a little bit of extra oomph. But definitely running Heart of Immos Light with that. Running Ursa's if we end up running the banner instead. Bubble's always good because Bubble increases damage. We were using Bubble on the Crota sword back in the day, so that's definitely an option. Like, run up to the bridge, drop a bubble so the sword guy can run into it, and exactly, it gives him a little extra poof. And a safe spot where he can stand and not get blasted by wizards to death immediately. So those are really going back to D1 strats there, but that's really what I'm looking at.
All right, so I kind of have a lot of things here. It was hard for me to narrow down. I'm just going to talk to you about some of the things I'm going to have on my character going into the raid in case Dim messes up or something like that. Before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to have everything over. I'm going to have armor put in the vault and just kind of like low things on me. Make sure I have that postmaster cleared out and all that. Saying that, Crota, we have a lot of close range encounters with a little bit of long range encounters mixed in. If you hear sirens or a train that's on my end, I'm sorry. SMGs, I'm thinking Ikelos SMG, perhaps a Callus mini tool, or Funnel Web or Shayura's Wrath. The reason I'm thinking those, I thought I remembered somewhere either hearing or seeing that maybe things might have different shields in this raid, since we do have a hive raid. Maybe every wizard isn't going to be a solar wizard. So saying that, I'm going to kind of keep all 3 of those ready to roll. Or all 4 of the, I don't know if I want to do Funnel Web or Shayura's, honestly. It's just probably whichever's feeling better at the moment. Pairing those with a blinding grenade launcher, in your first slot there. So with that, you're looking at, and when blinding, I think they're called disorientation grenades now. But ignition code, pardon our dust, and lingering dread are the 3 that I have to choose from that are there. And then with that, a machine gun. This is just pure ad clear, like that first encounter when you're running through the lamps. I'm not worried about having to kill a boss or anything. I know there's some ogres at the end, but I'm kind of going to have those. I know a lot of people like different machine guns. I think I'm a commemoration guy. I think that's the one that I like the most. I know that other people like different ones. Everybody has their favorites, but I'll probably have probably like 1 or 2 different flavors on me for that part. I do feel that snipers are in a pretty good place right now. So assuming that the second encounter is like the bridge building encounter, probably going to keep a sniper on me because we're going to have Shrek and Fiona coming from that other side, the 2 ogres over there that are going to come out. We're going to have to kill from a distance likely. Snipers are going to be good for that. There's going to be all kinds of the knights with the swords. Probably, if we're being honest, some of them are going to be like the Lucent Hive versions, which are just going to be pains. So that encounter where they're going to have Thrall and those knights, it might be something to where Jared and I can book our stasis and just kind of keep everything frozen. Maybe we don't need the rift or something like that, because if that's the case, Aeger's Scepter is a possible thing just to help kind of freeze and keep everything frozen. I was using it quite a bit in the what's the name of the story mission where you have to go through the lost sector, like this week, the seasonal story.
Oh, well, the quest is Bladed Path.
There it is, Bladed Path. I knew it was Bladed something. So I pulled that out of the vault and I was like, oh, this was pretty good. So I might keep that on me. That's probably unlikely, but that with the stasis warlock can always do some damage. And as always, any first raid, always have Outbreak perfected on you to be able to swap over if you're run out of ammo with everything else and your team shooting. Everybody swaps over to Outbreak. You can do some pretty good damage with that. So those are kind of the things I'm going to have on me. Obviously, likely we're going to be in like a solar warlock most of the time, potentially stasis warlock, depending on how that goes. Yeah, I think that kind of hits everything. So snipers, I would definitely have a good sniper on you. I would definitely have a good, like, probably slug, like a precision shotgun. And then after that, there's not a whole lot of parts in here that you're really going to need damage. In the old raid, the only time there was only one like boss fight, and that was like a damage thing, and that was the boss. And even with it wasn't really you were having to do DPS. You were just having to break the shield. So I don't know. Who knows how it's going to be different though. So we'll kind of see.
I guess we can't go without mentioning Forbearance or Dead Messenger as just an ad clear special weapon in that energy slot.
Yeah.
Forbearance has gotten so strong. Like whenever you go to use Dead Messenger, like why am I taking about my exotic slot when this legendary weapon can also do it? So it's gonna be interesting moving forward with what they're gonna do about forbearance, how good it is.
Is it still? I know, like I obviously it's good, and we've had it for a long time. It's just not really. It's not really a gun I've had to use like a whole lot. Like once I got it crafted, I think I got it up to like level 35 or 40. And like it's definitely good because I think what was it, like ambitious and chain reaction or something
Yeah, that's what most
you
people
could
do. But
have on that,
I actually do unrelenting chain reaction.
so you get your health back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely it's definitely good. It's very good. Um, I know the adept version of it can be good, especially they never made it to where you could like level those up, right? That was only the Root of Nightmare adept
Correct.
that you could. I wonder when we'll see that. You think they'll revisit that?
I think they leave that stuff in the past.
Yeah, that's fine. I wouldn't be too upset about that.
All right, that takes us to Gambling Corner. Fox, what happened this last week?
All right, so this last week, all right. So Gambling Corner, start out. I should write this down that way I can just read it every week. But so basically the gist of it is every season, all three of us start with 10,000 glimmer. We then make a bet every week with this 10,000 glimmer, and if at any point you go bankrupt, you then have to delete a weapon from your vault that the other two people put a value on that allows you to buy back into the game. The person at the end of the season with the most amount of glimmer in their bank, which last season was Jared, but every other season has been me, just so everybody knows, wins just a huge prize. And I think we need like a championship belt that we mail back and forth or something that we have to wear during this segment, you know. But we'll figure something out. If you have any ideas, please let us know. But last week was obviously the first week of the season. We all started with 10,000 glimmer. And at that time of recording, our combined season rank was level 60. So we took bets, and everybody put 2,000 in of their glimmer, and we bet upon what our combined season pass rank would be this week at the time of recording. I bet 136. Jared bet 145. Chad bet 150. So, right before the show, we all got on and checked, and I am 34. Chad was 52. Jared was 53, which brought our total to 139. Is that right? Which I believe makes me the winner.
Because you sandbagged.
Yeah.
I didn't sandbag. I actually played a lot
Sure he did.
this past week. So, so far, as my camera shuts off, I am the champion of week one. So that puts me at 14,000, Jared at 8,000, Chad at 8,000. So I'm going for the throat this week. And seeing as how it is raid race week, we were kind of talking in the pre-show. So the pre-show, you can see every week we kind of get on 15, 20 minutes early, start the pre-show, and talk a little bit about our lives before we get into the actual show. You can see that on YouTube and or Twitch here in the future. We were talking about what we wanted to do for Gambling Corner. So we were going to bet on which of these four streamers would finish the highest in the raid race. And then if this person happened to get first overall and win the title belts, you would get double whatever your winnings would be. It doubles. So the four streamers we were thinking was like the Redeem, which would be like Sweat Sickle, and
Glad.
I assume Glad and and those people were in. We had math class, which was like Dado, and like I have toes. Is Leopard on that team too?
Leopard's out.
Or is he on the other math class?
He's out this day one race. He's not doing it.
Oh, okay. And we had Elysium, which is like Salta Grepo and his homies. And then Gigs was the fourth team. We're not sure like who he's affiliated with.
Yeah. We could do a fifth. I just thought of it. The Primal guys, like Azakross. And then
Okay.
like Azakross.
I like that.
Yeah.
Astacross and
It's usually Frost.
all the PvP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Frostbolt and like ZK and Pure Chill and all that team's clean.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys thinking? We all put 1,000 in, or we want to do 2,000 again?
1,000 works well because you can potentially double it if.
Okay. And winner takes all. And if your winner happens to win, then you double whatever your take all would be. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Whoever's team gets the highest.
Yeah.
Whoever's gets the highest.
Yeah.
So like, say we all choose different ones. I would get like 3,000 would come back. It would double to 6 if my team happens to get first. Sound good?
Yep.
All right. Chad, who do you want? We'll let you go first this week.
I don't know. I don't remember any of the team names that you just said.
All right. It's Salt's team, Dado's team, Gig's team, Glad's team, or Azakross's team.
Salt.
I believe that should have been the first pick.
That's probably a good pick.
Yep.
Jared, you go ahead.
My heart wants to go with Dado, but you don't bet with your heart because then you just get hurt twice. So I'm going to go with Gigs.
24-0 twice.
Go with Gigs team.
Here's the thing. I wanted to do the same thing, and since I didn't, he's going to get it.
And just to put the jinx on him, I am taking Dado. I will gladly lose my 1,000 glimmer, and we're gonna put it on Dado here, just to put the old NRF hex on him.
Ryan's gonna win this week,
and we'll follow up on that next week. And if you guys have any suggestions of things you want us to bet on, be sure to let us know. Because next week, but until we get to the GMs, we always have pretty good stuff for the GM weeks when they come out. But for the weeks in between, sometimes we're kind of scrambling a little.
All right. Now we're moving on to lore. Chad, what's going on?
All right, we are talking about the armor this week. Let's see here. So we're going to start off with the helmet. Eris had whittled the Hive Knight's denuded femur into a shaft and driven it deep with osmium nails. She wrapped it in velvet string, attached her sigil to it. Now it chimed as she turned it in her hands. Yeah, make it pretty, Imaru said, rolling his eye. That'll help. Real useful. I am binding the staff with my power, she said archly. What use have you been? I told you what to do. I gathered the materials. I created the staff. I infused it with light and soulfire. Do not presume your ideas were essential to this process. You think you're such an expert in hive magic, Imaru scoffed. But you know what? You're just doing parlor tricks. Without me, that staff would be nothing more than a fancy piece of bone. Eris gripped the staff and held it out to test its heft. It was unbalanced. She returned it to the work table. Do not make yourself intolerable. Imaru moved so he could look Eris in the face. She raised her eyes, staring him down. He came close. She did not step back. Or what? You might scare everyone else, but you don't scare me. There's nothing you can do except put up with me. Eris returned to her work, raising a hand and pushing him out of the way. He huffed, watching her as she resumed sharpening the points of the staff's base. With this, the Guardian may devise rituals of their own. It will empower their light and channel the hive's vile power. You're welcome, Imara said smugly. Eris ignored him and examined the staff she had crafted. It represented hours spent sliding the blade's edge over layers of dead, porous hive chitin, carving it with spells and imbuing it with a magic. At its head was Soulfire, ichor encased in vitreous light, a gleaming vessel, one last reagent. She turned back to her work table. The worm squirmed and squealed under her knife. The arms. Behold my brood. Hold your enemies lay rotting in the field. The Chroma Admiral Refreet engulfed by waves of death, dragged back into the atmosphere by 1,000,000 hive corpses. The Ammonites keening below as their warrior of the sky fell into the deep. And there, in concert with your gods, his armor was pulled slowly from his body until the sinew of his adductors tore, anointing our gods with his spurting plasm. How he cried as his ruined flesh was impaled, his wailing a call to worship in the temple of his dying body. Then was the Ammonites' Leviathan alone. So I did command my servant Ir-Ulksal to taste of the Leviathan's flesh, to tear it from the sky in a feast of agony. And so he did. The Leviathan's viscera opened to the sky and rained down upon the Ammonites, bathing them in the bowels of their god. So my brood did taste of his entrails and rejoice. From this victory forward until the sky falls and the deep subsumes all, Ir-Ulksal shall be known as the Leviathan Eater, bane of the Ammonites, and favored harbinger of Zivu Arath. Chest. Mithrax had come to Ikora's office with a gift and a question. The gift was a large glass jar of preserved leech-like creatures, oily and glistening. They were perhaps the most delicious thing Ikora had tasted in the last 20 years. And while the two of them worked their way through the jar, Mithrax uncomfortably stumbled his way to his question. Eris Morn has changed, he said carefully, and Ikora nodded. She chose to change, and she acted out of... Is there a human word for love bravery? Ikora smiled. Love, she said. Love, then. Mithrax nodded. If she were to change forever, if she cannot return to herself, will she be remembered well? Since her first choice was made from love. Ikora responded as though she had not struggled with the thought 1,000 times already. Eris will always be Eris, no matter what form she takes, he said. Mithrax harumphed in satisfaction and leaned forward to take another leech. Yes, I am always impressed with the resilience of the Guardians, with or without their light. Saint tells me the Titan Sloane embraced the Taken, and she is doing well. Yes, and for that I am grateful, Ikora said. But they don't always come back, Mithrax. An old friend of mine was corrupted by the Vex in a similar way. He stayed behind when the pyramids attacked, just like Sloane, but I believe we lost him. I am sorry about your friend, Mithrax said somberly. I hope he is remembered as a hero. Ikora raised her eyebrows, but said nothing. I, too, encountered a great mind consumed by the Vex, Mithrax continued. The Guardian and I attempted a rescue, but it went deeper into the network as it gained access it sought. It taught me that the pursuit of truth is worth any price, even one's own sense of self. Ikora smiled. Asher would have agreed with every word of that. Mithrax leaned forward in amazement, a leech dangling limply from his claws. You knew Asher-Mir? Ikora cocked her head. Yes, Asher-Mir. How on earth did you know him? Asher-Mir, Mithrax slowly said to himself, mimicking Ikora. That is why I have been unable to locate any records. Ikora, he said, straightening himself in his seat. I must tell you a story about our friend, Asher-Mir, the hero. Legs. Imaru focused on his digital iris, zooming in on the Guardian. They were about to initiate a new ritual, and the Hive Ghost was keen to see their response. When the screeds started pouring in, Imaru couldn't help himself. Oops, this one's all screebs, he chortled. Have fun. He expected that the ritual to end promptly in a shower of dark ether. Instead, the Guardians surged through the air, dodging explosion after explosion, their lights seared through the scorn, burning them alive. It wasn't long before the smoke cleared and the Guardians stood alone, their light thrumming with tithes. Amaru grumbled to himself. For as long as he'd been a ghost, he'd resented how the Guardians referred to the light. It was never my ghost's light or the traveler's light. No, it was always my light. They talked about it like they owned it, like they were entitled to it, like they earned it. But looking down on the smoldering battlefield, Amaru had to admit that the Guardians' arrogance served them well. It gave them the confidence to mold their light in a fashion that suited them best. They treated it like a tool, something to be used. They gave them an advantage over the Lucent Brood, whose manipulation of the light was inhibited by reverence. Amaru turned away from the ritual circle in disgust. He hated to admit it, but the Lucent Brood had a lot to learn about the light from the Guardians. And once they did, the humans would pay for their lack of respect. Class. Zavala locked his office door. The furtive gesture made him uneasy, but he couldn't risk anyone coming in. The feed he was about to watch could easily be misconstrued. As it was, the city smoldered with rumors from citizens and Guardians alike. The persistent, undulating hole in the traveler's side put everyone on edge. Hearing that Vanguard leadership was using hive magic to fulfill a bargain put forth by the Witch Queen would undoubtedly stoke the flames of panic. Zavala leaned grimly over his desk to watch the Guardian's latest tithes to Eris Morn. It used to be simple, he lamented. We exterminated the hive wherever we found them, and we felt good about it. Justified. But in recent years, morally ambiguous situations like these had become more common, and separating friend from foe was increasingly difficult. Over the feed, Eris Morn's face lit up with fierce elation as the Guardian's ties flowed through her. Her hive form seemed to swell with power. Zavala knew that Eris undertook the rituals with temperance, at least for now. But he wondered how long their clarity would last. Alcibre's warnings had been too vivid to dismiss entirely, even after Ikora's reassurances. Zavala turned away from the feed to gaze out the window at the traveler. The trauma puncturing its side reminded him of the stakes, the reason they were taking such risks. He sighed, wondering how many more compromises they would have to make before the end. So there's a couple of good tidbits. My favorite tidbit is probably the oops, all berries reference that Amaru made with the Screebs. It's probably my favorite one. But I know Jared's favorite one was the hero, Asher Mir.
It almost was. But the very beginning, when Eris was working on that staff, it's like, adding all them trinkets to make it look better, it's not going to help it at all. And it's just like your destiny. You're right. Like, it don't matter how you dress your character up and how good it looks, it's not going to fix your shitty gameplay.
He's not wrong. Sucks to suck.
Cool, dog. Makes me confident, okay?
Is it time?
Yeah.
It is time for the mailbag. One of my favorite parts of the show each week. Question 1. What are the raid expectations for your team? So just to set the stage, we have us three. I think, Jared, you're playing Warlock.
Yeah.
Shadow's playing Titan. And then we got
Lex.
Sweeperbot. Sweeperbot played with us in Vow of the Disciple, I believe. We almost had a contest mode clear there. So he's back. He's always a Titan and only a Titan. And then we have Kamikaze, who's playing with us. And what's he playing on? Hunter. And this is his first time, not his first time ever playing with us, but his first time doing like a contest mode with us. And then we have Shifty, who's also a hunter. And Shifty's been with us since we started doing this all the way back. He's one of the original 6. So we like Shifty. Shifty's a good feller. So, raid expectations. So the way we're kind of approaching this is Friday. We're getting on around 8 East, or once Chad gets home from work, we're hopping on. Probably going to put 4 or so hours in, I would say. Get a good night's sleep, hit it pretty early the next morning, hit it that whole day. I would love to get through the first 2 encounters before we go to bed Saturday or Friday night. If we can get through the first 2 encounters.
Oh.
Well, no.
Across the bridge is what you're saying. Gotcha.
Yeah. If we can get across the bridge the first night, I'm going to be pretty happy, because the first hour is going to be us like trying to get some bearings, getting used to staying alive, that type of thing. Getting used to like this 6 playing together versus the others, you know. So that would be my goal. And then hopefully by like 2 or 3 o'clock Saturday, have the boss dead. That would be a good thing for me. I would be very happy with that.
Yeah, that's a good plan. Man, my expectation really is just like we're gonna get the contest clear on Saturday. Depending on how we feel after it, and after we see what the challenges take, we're gonna gauge if we want to go after that challenge mode clear or not. And I feel that's where we're gonna be at. That's where we stopped at Vault of Glass. We got that challenge, but we got the contest mode clear in, and then we're like, challenge mode ain't for us. As long as we get to that point, I'm going to be happy.
Yep.
I think like they said, Friday is definitely going to be get as far as we can, while knowing that we all want to get a good amount of sleep, because we're going to be in it to win it the next day. I think Ryan's expectations are right on the money. Where I was thinking is get past the bridge into the final room, and then maybe start it up just to see what's going on. But that's where we're leaving it at. Breaking off, going to bed. I'll obviously, I'm waking up earlier. We'll set up alarms. Whoever needs to, probably only me, because I think everybody else is east or mid-ish. So they're either 3 hours ahead of me or 2.
I think we're all east
Pretty
except
sure.
for you.
Yeah. So if they want to start playing at 7, I'll set up an alarm for 4. Don't matter, me none. Whatever they want to do. But start it up, and then just go to town. But we're like I said, with 48 hours, mindset's gonna be, if we feel like we need to take a break, call it 30 minutes, hour, whatever it is. Take a break. If we need to take a cool down, 15, take a 15, call it a day, come back, readjust. But based on how we did with Vault of Glass, we did beat it night 1. And we beat it late. Like, it was midnight past for me. And it was the same thing. I got home after work, we played it, and we beat it that same night. So I have good expectations for us for beating it Saturday. And then depending on that, we'll see if we want to tackle the challenge mode, or at least tackle like a challenge or 2, like the opening challenge. And then maybe be like, you know what, this was hard enough, we're good. Or seeing if we want to keep it going. But those will definitely be decisions that'll be made after clear 1. And yeah, it'll be a really fun time. And if it starts to be not a fun time, take a break. We learned that from Deepstone. We need to take breaks. We need to be able to stop and
take breaks.
15 to just cool out, and then come back and be like, all right, who doesn't have their mods equipped?
Yeah, breaks are very. I don't think in break mentality, but I'm glad Chad does, because it usually helps us out after we take one. So, branching off of this question, we'll call this 1B. What kind of snacks you guys got ready?
Ooh, Dot's homestyle pretzels. I got the honey mustard, and then I have the original, and then I also have Hot Ones put out chicken tenders in their freezer section, so I got like both kinds in the freezer.
Is this like a Kroger? Is this like a Kroger?
Yeah, it's at Kroger.
Thing, or?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. I ordered let's just say an unhealthy amount of Buffalo Wild Wings tonight. So the real question is, how many of those wings are going to make it through? Knowing myself and that hot barbecue is back. I also have I got some pizza rolls and some frozen pizzas ready to roll Saturday whenever we take like our hour 90-minute lunch break or whatever we're going to do, because for some reason Bungie decided it was a great idea for week 1 of college football to put this raid out. So thanks for that. So yeah. Chad, any special snacks?
Nah. Just I got a couple of really good restaurants within like a 5-minute walking distance of here, and a liquor store with plenty of snacks and beverages right in that same spot. So and the Grubhub to fire up if I need to order something from further away, like some salt and pepper wings from the Chinese place. In fact, they're delicious. They're so good. But yeah, nothing pre-set up, although I did just look up the Hot Ones wings or the strips, and I'm like, I might have to get a bag of those, because just having a plate of strips and some dipping sauces sounds really good.
Yeah.
So
all right,
the last thing I'll say is that I don't know if like most people, I think Roosters is regional, but they have something called the bird's nest. So they take tots, they put the tots down, then they rip up chicken tenders or boneless wings, put it in there, a little bit of sauce, queso on top, some pico de gallo, onions, like all that. It's just
Lord.
That's, yeah. You can do
That's
that homemade
loaded
too.
tots right there.
Yeah.
Thing is,
That's
you're gonna have
real
to take
loaded tots.
take some shit breaks.
Yep.
With that.
Yep.
That's just pure, just stink water coming out. Question 2: looking to buy a PC. What would you recommend? Does it really make that big of a difference as far as Destiny is concerned? Should I play with a controller or buy a good mouse and keyboard? Please guide me. This is a loaded question here.
Yeah.
Chad's gonna say go AMD. Jared and I are gonna say go Intel. We're all gonna say go NVIDIA for your graphics cards, I think. Chad's going to tell you to buy an Elite controller. Jared and I are going to say to buy Logitech keyboard and mouse. And honestly, you can spend as much as you want to spend. You will be able to tell a difference. Even if, honestly, you're not going to... So don't get caught up in like 4K and all that stuff. Because when it comes to like a 27 to 30 or 32 inch screen, you're more looking at like frames per second. So my advice would be, if you can get something that can do like 1080 at 165, I would probably go that route, and you're going to be able to, I don't know like what kind of budget you're looking at. But if you can get something that can get you that, you're going to be in super good shape, and you're going to be very glad that you did.
Yeah, I'd say Ryzen 9, whatever the highest one, 50X is. If you're playing
That
Destiny,
$700 processor
4K doesn't make a difference. It's a beautiful game, but you don't need to go super crazy on it. But get this thing custom water cooled. You want to get all the frames you can. Every ounce of water is an extra frame. Just remember that. And then as many RGB fans as you can, because those are also an extra frame each. But seriously, you like even the 10 series NVIDIA cards can run Destiny well. You don't need to go super crazy. You can go 20 series, like a 2070 Super, and have a really good time on Destiny, because it's an older game. It doesn't have really high requirements at all. And like Ryan said, if you're playing Destiny, a nice monitor with a high refresh rate is gonna be beautiful. Like like you said, 160 something or a 240 if you can swing it, is ridiculous. The game's gonna look buttery smooth and beautiful, and whether it goes 1080 to 4K, it's with Destiny in particular, it's not gonna make much of a difference on that resolution. It's like, okay, it looks good, but the frames is what makes it feel a lot better. Now, if you play a bunch of other games, you might want to get, at least a 30 series NVIDIA if you can, and then you can play some good stuff on there. Play some Spooderman, and it'll look really good. But Destiny's not a game you need to go crazy on. So,
one thing to keep in mind with like consoles, like when they're running at 4K, they're not running at like a real 4K. They're running at like what would be the equivalent of like a medium graphic settings on PC at like 1200 or 1440p that is then like upscaled to look 4K. So just because an Xbox can allegedly run Destiny at 4K 120, I promise you, it's not. It's not running that. I promise. So ideally you have a buddy, you can go see their setup, and hopefully they have something halfway decent you can go look at, because frames are something that you don't understand until you see it, and you're like, oh, it all kind of makes sense now. So once you see it, you'll understand.
Recommendation: if you're converting from controller over to PC, like get a mouse with a few extra buttons on it. That way your left hand's not doing all the new memorization. You have a little bit more with your right to even it out.
You will not regret it. I'll promise you that. You will not regret it. Question 3. Do you trust Amaru or Eris more?
I trust Eris more.
Yeah, it's going to be Eris for me.
So obviously, until this season, I trusted Eris more. But I feel like it's set for somebody to turn on us. And absolute power, absolute corruption, blah, blah, blah. I'm kind of wondering if she's going to get too strong and get a little too big for her britches, So,
I mean, we'll just turn her into a gun if she does.
Yeah, it would be cool if Eris ends up being one of the bosses en route to the witness or whatever in the raid. Question 4. Do you think Crota's End will end up being in the top 50% of raids available to play after the initial shine wears off? That's a hard question. I think that's going to be right around where it is.
At the 50? Like right in the middle?
I feel like it'll be better than Vault of Glass. It'll be better than King's Fall.
What I can
it'll
say
probably be better
is
than
right,
probably be better than Garden, or right around Garden of Salvation.
Probably right around Garden. But the thing that's definitely its saving grace is the weapons are cool, but they chose the Triumph's armor. So people are going to play it for the armor because it looks awesome. That armor is amazing. Not that I'm going to ever get any of it or complete a whole set, but it looks great. I'm going to be playing it for the armor. The guns too, but the armor it's the only armor of its kind that's as crazy as it is, that isn't like seasonal, like been the seasonal one on the battle pass. So it's one that you can earn without doing bounties. So I think it'll be as good as Garden, but the drops are going to be cooler. So it'll be just above that, if only for the loot.
It's pretty easy. It's if the raid is able to be cheesed or it's really easy to do, then it's going to be really popular. Destiny players don't want to most part, don't want to try, especially when it comes to raids and LFG, and like they want it to be as easy as possible, not require comms, be able to type it all in chat. So if that's the case, this raid's going to be really very popular.
You're probably right. Question 5. The Starfield embargo has lifted and early access has started for those people that spent money on the Super Ultimate Mega Deluxe Edition. Have you played or are you planning to play?
I have not played, but I do plan on playing next week. They didn't even bother trying to do the additional. I have the PC Game Pass, so I'll be able to play with it with that. But you could do like a $30 add-on to get the early access, and then like the next expansion, you automatically get it as part of that the extra money. So my wife did that, so I'll be watching her play as I like go to take breaks and get water and peek in to see what's going on. But I'll play next week.
She is she streaming?
Yes.
Streaming it? What's shout out? What's her Twitch? Do you know it?
Let me pull it back up so I don't get it wrong.
All right. What about you, Chad? You planning to play?
What is Starfield?
It's a Bethesda game studio game. Bethesda made Fallout and the Elder Scrolls series, and that's kind of what they're known for. This is their new IP. That is a space exploration game.
Yeah, it is OH Rican. That's OHRICAN on Twitch. She's getting actually
OH Rican.
She's actually getting close to being an affiliate. Like her average views is high enough, and the days are done. So now she's gotta get the followers, and she's got like 20 more followers, and she's an affiliate.
Well, let's help her out with that.
Nice.
If you're listening, send her a follow. Tell her you came from us. That way we can take a little bit of credit for it. She can't take it all herself. Chad, Starfield, yes, no, maybe?
I still don't know what it is, so probably not.
I will play it. I don't know if it's going to be like one of those games I wait and play when I can get it for like $30 or $35. That's usually because I still have a bunch of Final Fantasy to play through. So I kind of don't want to stop that. And but I don't know. I will definitely play it. I really like Bethesda games, Elder Scrolls and Fallout. Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 were kind of my favorite of those. And I was always a Morrowind and Oblivion guy more than Skyrim, but you know, I remember playing Morrowind on my original Xbox and just absolutely being mind blown at what all you could do on that game at the time. So I saw it's getting anywhere from 7 to 10. The 7s, apparently it's a good game, not a perfect game, but you know, that's to be expected. I'm sure there's going to be patches and mods and those things that are going to iron out the things people don't like. So I imagine by the time I play it, it's going to be in a real good shape and I will have a great time. And I believe that is the last question for the mailbag. Do you guys have anything that you want to add or anything we missed?
Man, I don't think we missed anything. We're pretty good.
Pretty well on top of it.
Be the best.
So this has been the Conqueror's Corner podcast. This has been episode 128. Destiny Bad Boy, NotRyanFox. Don't forget, follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Send us Bungie friend requests so we can play games together. Once contest mode is up, if you want to go through the raid, let us know. We're going to be looking to run it, I'm sure, at least 3 times a week, and we'd love to help you get that clear. I'm going to let these other two sign off.
Good luck on those day ones out there. If you find any cheese or like you're finding any loadouts that like really work for you on certain encounters, and you get yours done before we get caught up and start going, let us know in the Discord or Twitter or hell, whisper us in game. Like, just let us know.
Yeah, definitely. If you're running in it, and before we get on, let us know what's working, what definitely doesn't work for you guys. and we'll see if it runs for us that well, or we'll also have our own recommendations or anything like that if people decide they want to play Saturday all day. So yeah, definitely have fun.
And make sure you watch us play. Watch us play while you're going. You've already got your clear, and you watch us play and get mad at each other and just laugh at us. As always, fuck Florida, go Cats. Love you guys.